Hello, and welcome to lesson 13 of this Introduction to Linear Algebra with Wolfram U. The topic for this lesson is properties of determinants. So let's begin with a brief overview of the lesson. So in the last lesson, we talked about the definition and calculation of determinants. And in this lesson, we'll discuss various properties of determinants. Now, these properties involve things like row operations, matrix products, inverses, etc. So for example, we'll ask the question, how is the inverse of a matrix relate to the original matrix in terms of determinants? Okay, and throughout the lesson we talk about specific examples and there'll be no formal proofs. So that's the plan for the lesson, and let's begin with the first property, which is multiplication of a row by a scalar. So let's say you have a matrix A and you obtain B by multiplying either a row or a column of A, it doesn't matter which one, by a scalar k. Then the determinant of B will be k times the determinant of A. So for example, here is a matrix A, it's 3 by 3, and you obtain the matrix B by multiplying the second row of A by 3. So if you look at the second row of B, that's 3 times the second row of A. Let's check the property with that. So determinant of A is 15, determinant of B is 45, and 45 is 3 times 15. So you have checked the property. And if you had to prove it, what you would do is you would expand the determinants using the second row in each case. Okay, on the next property, which is if you have a matrix with a 0 row or column, then something very special happens. So let's say you have a matrix A in which one row or one column consists of zeros, then the determinant itself is 0. Let's say over here you have a matrix in which the third row is 0, then its determinant is also 0. And if you had to prove it, you would expand the determinant using the third row of the matrix. Similarly, you've got a matrix B over here, and now the second column is all zeros. Then again, the determinant of B will be 0. And if you had to check that to actually prove it, you would use the second column of the matrix. Okay, on to the next property, which is probably the most important one, which says that if you've got two matrices, two square matrices, then determinant of A times B is determinant of A in determinant of B. That's a very remarkable property, quite useful. So let's say you got a matrix A over here and a matrix B over there. Over here you first compute A times B, then find determinant. Over there you compute determinant of A and determinant of B, and you do get back just the same answer in both the cases. So this is by far the most important property of determinants, namely the determinant of A times B is determinant of A and determinant of B. And just as a note of caution, if you have a sum of two matrices, then the sum of determinants is in general not equal to the determinant of a sum. So you do not have determinant of A plus B equal to determinant A plus determinant of B. So here are two matrices A and B, and if you try and work out determinant of A plus B, that's not the same as determinant of A plus determinant of B. Okay, next, suppose you interchange two rows or two columns of a matrix. Then it turns out the determinant will actually become the negative. So for example, here you have a matrix A. You interchange the second and third rows of A to obtain B. And you can see it over here, we have simply flipped rows 2 and 3, work out determinants, and you find that determinant of B is actually the negative of determinant of A. And if you had to prove it, what you do is you define an elementary matrix, which does just the flipping for you, and work out determinant of that elementary matrix. You get -1, and that's where the negative sign over here comes from. Okay, so now if you take a matrix A and you obtain B by adding a multiple of one row or column of A to another column or row of A, then the determinant is not changed. So for example, here's a matrix A. You obtain the matrix B by adding 5 times the second row of A to the first row of A. Let's see what's happened over here. So the 12 over here is 7 plus 5. And 13 over here is 3 plus 10. So now if you work out determinant of A and determinant B, they are exactly the same. And the reason is that if you take the elementary matrix over here, then multiplying it by A gives a B, but its own determinant is actually equal to 1. And hence you have equality over here. Okay, now these properties can actually be used to evaluate determinants using row reduction, although we'll not do it over here. Okay, so now how about a transpose? Well, if you transpose a matrix, then the determinant does not change. So here is the matrix A. Work out its transpose. So interchange rows and columns. So the first row of A becomes the first column of B, etc. And let's check that the determinants are actually just the same in both the cases. And if you had to prove it, you would find determinant of A with the first row and that of A transpose with the first column. Okay, how about inverses? That's a really interesting property, and it turns out that the determinant of A inverse is 1 over the determinant of A. You matrix A over, let's say, work out determinant. Because determinant is not 0, it is actually invertible, so it makes sense to divide over here. Work out the inverse of A. Check determinants, and you see the determinant of B is indeed the reciprocal of determinant of A. And if you had to prove it, you would actually take the property that defines the inverse, namely A times its inverse is the identity matrix, but then the identity matrix has got determinant 1, so basically you need to divide by determinant of A to get determinant of A inverse. Okay, and finally, you actually have a very nice test for linear independence using determinants. So if you have a set of n vectors in Rn, so you've got 2 vectors in R2, etc., then they are linearly independent if and only if determinant of matrix formed by vectors is not 0. So you got 3 vectors over here, u, a, and w. And notice that w is actually a linear combination of u and v. So certainly this set over here, u, v, w, is not going to be linearly independent. What you do now is to set up a matrix whose rows are u, v, and w. Work out its determinant. It's 0, and hence you have a linearly dependent set. So the moment you see a determinant 0 over here, you actually have linear dependence. Okay, so that brings me to the end of the lesson, and the main point was that this lesson talked about the properties of determinants. And those properties are related to row operations, products, inverses, and transposes. But in fact, we also found a very nice quick test for linear independence at the end of the lesson. So having talked about calculation and properties, we'll now speak about the application of determinants in the next lesson, but that's for another time, and I'll stop over here. Thank you very much.